Hi there, I'm Foxxyboi, and welcome back to another DJ interview. Hi. So, DJ Vulp, tell me, how has been the preparation for this year's Club FYNN set?
Um, well, a lot of hurry up and a lot of wait. Um, Between all the things of getting things ready for conventions and stuff and attending some, I've been collecting a couple cool new tracks to mix in, as well as sorting through years of shit to find some really cool, like, nostalgic tracks, because I always like to sneak those into the mix. So a lot of digging through different songs to try and come up with this cool set here.
Yeah, you're a very busy person. I mean, how
Yeah.
do you even find the time to do all this?
I don't even know. I think I just push off the sleep and just do more stuff.
All right, gremlin mode, huh?
Yeah.
So, tell me, what has been your experience, for those who don't know, what has been your experience within the VR DJ club scene?
So specifically to VR, it was pretty much from the get-go when I first started playing in 2020. Obviously, due to the pandemic, we all kind of started finding other outlets to be social, and I found that there's clubs in VR, and I like to DJ, and found a way to figure out how to send it to the computer and start live streaming. And I learned what OBS was and went through the whole struggle that every other VR DJ has faced, and like, how do I send it to other people that aren't in the same room? But it's been pretty fun. I've played a couple places here and there, and some of the past Furalities. It's been amazing to be able to like party with people around the world.
So, what was your inspiration to start DJing?
Ooh, um, I'm not sure that there's really one thing that I could like say that was the reason. I've always been big on tech and learning all kinds of stuff. And when I was still in high school, middle school, around that time, the CDJ 200 had just come out. Uh, and I lived in Guitar Center and just played around with all the stuff in there back when they still had a showroom of things, and would just kind of practice on that until at eventually towards the later years in high school, I was able to just actually buy my own gear and leave the poor salespeople alone with my endless mixes every day.
Oh, wonderful. So what? So we know what you started off with. What does your current tech look like?
So these days, I have a Pioneer DDJ SE2. It's a USB controller that's full size, specifically for Serato. I kind of started on Serato back when there was just the SL1, and I've just kind of that's just what I know and love. I've dabbled with Tractor. I've done a little bit of some other stuff like Virtual DJ, but my whole library is in Serato now, so it'd be hard for me to just like throw away all of my folders to switch to another thing. But they're all pretty cool.
Hey, I mean, if you're stuck with something that works, then it works. Now um, tell us about some of the techniques you're implementing for your mixing.
Um, let's see. So, I mean, there's always different ways to mix music together, and I think that of the like 20, 30, 40 ways that you can like mix tracks together, the way that each DJ does it is kind of what makes it like the sound that you come to know for each one. For me, most of the way that I like to do it is I like to speed mix a lot. So a lot of people, if when you're listening to the sets I do, you're in songs that you know, but only for like a minute. And if they want to hear the whole song, they might be a little disappointed. But I like combining things and doing mashups, and like there's now stems in Serato, uh, so that I can even do even more layering. It's been a lot of fun to kind of mix a lot of cool like modern pop and well a lot of music these days, even that aren't EDM, are using EDM. So it all mixes together and put some older bass underneath it. It's a lot of fun. Just all the mashups make it super danceable.
Who are you looking up to and getting inspiration from in the DJ scene these days?
Ooh, so sort of, I'll give like the industry answer first.
Sure.
One of the people I like to watch a lot. I haven't seen much from them lately, but especially pre-COVID, DJ Craze. He is freaking insane on the technique and has been in the game from the beginning to before there were computers to with computers. And every time new technology comes out, he's always like jumping right on it, figuring out how can we take this new technology and make something cool with it, rather than be like, you know, traditional and, I don't need a computer. I can just do it all on vinyl. But if you leverage the tech we have today, you could just do insane things. And so I really look up to that, of trying to push like the edge of what one person can do on the deck, because now you have computer helping you. So it just means that you can do even more things. And sort of more like locally, maybe in fandom, there's a lot of cool things that I've seen from a handful of the DJs in the lineup and in past lineups of Furality, and just even outside of conventions. Not to like single out anyone, but just sort of this collective thing where I'm starting to see a lot of more storytelling and really cool visuals for stuff. And I hope that like one day when I'm not doing 5 million other things and I can just maybe just stick to one hobby or two, that I can kind of improve in that direction, on top of like mixes is kind of add to the visual element of create like maybe visual storytelling and stuff like that. Stuff like what Strawberry does and a bunch of the other people. It's really cool to be not only to like experience the music, but then have like this impactful visual journey as part of the set. It's more than auditory. So it's kind of the things I think of, like how can I push myself in the future to improve, and what do I aspire to kind of grow skill wise.
I see. Possibly. How would I ask this question? How many hats do you wear currently?
Which convention?
Oh, okay.
I mean, at Furality, I'm primarily the DevOps director, and so that's where most of my effort goes. And I support where I can, but that's all the other hats have been given to other people, and take them, and I do a lot of fandom projects. I do some code stuff on the side. I am a co-chair of a mini FurCon in Vegas called DEF CON Furs, and I'm now helping out a brand new con that just started in SoCal. So lots going on for me. It's just endless. I live to work.
Apparently you do. Okay, well, seeing as you have your hat in so many different places, or multiple hats, I don't know what the phrase is, but the point I'm going to add, this is the question I really like to ask. What are some things you think no one is talking about in this scene?
For DJs and
DJing.
VR?
Yeah, no, DJing in VR, I think would probably be good. Yeah.
That no one's talking about. I don't know, because I feel like the answer used to be like no one talks about this whole VR club scene outside of VR, but I feel like that's starting to change. Like one of the coolest things I've seen over the last year and a half or so is these DJs. Like there's always the fandom DJs who have been at all the cons performing, but there's like more DJs now that started their fandom journey, you know, aside from what other else they had going on, but when they started performing at like specifically furry events in VR and growing from that onto physical stages, you know, including big virtual ones. Like I know, you know, I've seen multiple people who were inspired by DJs at Furality who then said, you know what, I'm going to learn how to DJ, and then they're on that same stage. Like within VR, there's this whole like new generation all the time of inspiration, and then all of that is spilling back into, you know, the IRL side of things, because we're all, you know, also local to cons, at least the ones who live in, you know, the major cities in North America and elsewhere. It's really cool to be able to, hey, I met you in VR and now I'm physically standing in front of you. It's a really cool experience.
I like that answer. I like that answer. So I've got only one more question for you this evening, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good one because I want to hear from you. What is a piece of advice you can give to someone looking to start DJing?
Looking to start. Well, I mean, there's the generic answer of like learning particular skills, but I think you can get that from YouTube and friends in VR. I think one of the harder things to learn is that the only real person that you need to impress and you know, get on the same page with is yourself. 99% of the time when you are not where you want to be, like in a particular event or somewhere else, the hardest, like you're taking it out on yourself a lot harder than what anybody else is doing. There's 5 million reasons why something may not go the way that you expect it to, but for me, like I know that the first thing I think about is, you know, I did the wrong thing or this or that, but like you should just do it for yourself. Like figure out what you like about DJing and work on that skill. And then when you're happy with that, listen back to your mix. You know, a thing I love to do is I put it on a portable thing and I'll take it in the car and listen in the car because it sounds different. And just sit there for an hour in the driveway and listen to your own mix and be like, those 3 things, I want to work on that. And do that as your way to progress, regardless if you're playing for yourself, for an instance full of friends, for the, you know, if you're at Ultra Festival, wherever you're playing, forever who, remember that like doing it for yourself is more important than trying to be the perfect person for somebody else, because you're never you never know what people want. So if you're just always worried about them, you're never going to be happy for yourself. So just focus on that, what you like about it, and let that guide you on kind of the approach you take.
I see. And don't worry about what the Guitar Center guy thinks either, right?
Yeah, as they drag you out the store, yeah.
Right? Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you set in the Furality Umbra.
Yeah, it's gonna be a journey. For
A
sure.
journey.
A journey.
Well, thank you, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.